We'll discuss tonight the major attributes of personal initiative being contagious, personal initiative succeeds where others fail, personal initiative creates work, creates opportunity, creates the future, creates advancement, and then finally putting personal initiative to work. Now, one of the biggest benefits from going the extra mile is the emphasis it requires us to place on personal initiative. This chapter, of course, will round out our understanding of personal initiative, and through example, it will show us how to multiply that quality in ourselves. Andrew Carnegie once told the author that there are two types of people who never amount to anything. There are those who never do anything except what they are told to do, and there are those who cannot even do what they are told to do. The people who get ahead do the things that should be done without being told, and they don't stop there. They go the extra mile and do much more than is expected of them. Now, personal initiative is absolutely necessary if you are going to realize that goal. It will bring your advancement, attention, and opportunity right out into the open. Now, the major attributes of personal initiative, in the years that our author has spent formulating these principles of success, he's observed many extraordinary people. And there's a list of qualities that constantly appeared in the observations. Some of them will bring the things that have already been covered in the book. Others come later. The important thing for us is to identify these characters in ourselves. And we are now able to think about and increase and strengthen them. Now, one of those things is the adoption of a definite major purpose. Do we have a definite major purpose? Mine is hygiene control in restaurants. The motivation to act continuously in pursuit of that purpose. I get up every morning, sometimes 3 a.m. to go knock out some restrooms. A mastermind alliance to acquire the power to attain that purpose. I'm a little weak in that department. I got my nephew Zach and I got my buddy Anthony. My definite major purpose is deeper to franchise this hygiene business. But self-reliance, I'm developing that. So I'm in that stage. Now, success is a matter of stages, I suppose. Get into this cycle of success and allow your self-reliance to grow, but always, go for that self-reliance. And that's a characteristic of personal initiative, is self-reliance and self-discipline. Persistence based upon the will to win. A well-developed imagination, controlled and directed. The habit of prompt, definite decision-making. The habit of basing opinions on known facts, not guesswork. The habit of going the extra mile. The capacity to generate enthusiasm at will and control it. A well-developed sense of details. The capacity to listen to criticism without resentment. Familiarity with the 10 basic human motives. The capacity to concentrate attention on one task at a time. Assuming full responsibility for one's own actions. Willingness to accept full responsibility for the mistakes of subordinates. Patience with subordinates and associates. Recognizing the merits and abilities of others. A positive mental attitude at all times. The capacity for applied faith. The habit of following through. The habit of emphasizing thoroughness instead of speed. And then finally, dependability. Now that's a long list of characteristics, but it's the characteristics that each of us need to have, or not necessarily need to have, but these are the characteristics that show the major attributes of personal initiative. And if you've got personal initiative, you should see yourself on this list. Not everybody has got their major definite purpose. In fact, mine isn't as defined as you might think, holding these sessions with you, you would think that I've got everything in place, and that's not the way it is for me. It's not the way it is for anybody. It's not the way it is for our author. And I think that the law of creation comes into effect here, comes into play, that we're able to have different stages of development. But what our author has tried to do is point out these different stages of development and point out these different success factors, and gives us the opportunity to be able to see them in our own lives. And if we have them, then we're able to build on them and strengthen them. And it gives us confidence, is what it's given me, knowing these secrets, which they're really not secrets at all, but they don't teach them in school. So they kind of are secret. So we've got the major attributes of personal initiative. And no doubt many of these qualities are already familiar to us. We may think we've already got that. But it is the nature of the 17 principles of success that each depends upon the others. And we can't develop one without relying upon and developing others at the same time. How can we develop faith without applying it through personal initiative? And how can we have personal initiative without a definite purpose to carry out? We can't. Now, personal initiative is contagious. Why? I say because people are greedy. No, not that, but people want more, and we live in a society that is based on wanting more, and it's like that because we do have people that are greedy and get over on people that aren't so greedy. So we've created a level playing field with our society where we're able to, survival of the fittest, man, go out there and go get it. Everybody's got an equal playing field, so they say. But personal initiative is contagious because people see you moving in one direction, they want to go get that too. That's kind of, I think I think you guys know what I'm talking about, actually. So I'll leave it at that. Anyways, personal initiative being contagious. During the Second World War, Henry Kaiser astounded the world by the speed and efficiency of his shipbuilding. What made his achievement so remarkable is he hadn't been a shipbuilder before he responded to the needs of the war. The quality that made this possible was his personal initiative, and the most obvious manifestation of this quality was his habit to follow through. Now, when Kaiser ordered a trainload of steel to be delivered at his shipyards on a given date, he made sure that the railroad was alerted, that his workers were prepared for the shipment, and that the steel was going to be produced on schedule. Not only that, he sent an expediter. You know what an expediter is? Somebody that sees the process along to make sure that things are expedited. And that expediter kept him informed of the progress. And then he traveled with the shipment on the way back. Now, because Kaiser was so attentive to the details of this operation, everyone who worked for him knew the same quality was expected of themselves. If something went wrong along the way, the expediter was expected to do whatever was necessary to correct the problem and make up for lost time, and he seldom failed. Kaiser's persistent personal initiative was an example to thousands of people on a daily basis. I want to give a shout out to Antonio's. They have a clean restaurant and they have initiative. Each of their employees takes personal initiative to clean that restaurant. And I go in there and I clean, and it gives me contagious personal initiative because I want to clean for them more because they keep it so clean. So I got proof that it's contagious in my own line of work. Now, personal initiative succeeds where others fail. This story goes along and says, not long after he was married, he paid his first visit to his wife's family. The train took him close to their hometown, but stopped 2 miles away, and there was a downpour. By the time he reached the in-laws, he was not very impressive. He was also something of a bad temper and exclaimed, "Why don't you have a railroad build the line down into town?" And his brother-in-law laughed and told him that they had been trying for 10 years. But the railroad was unwilling to take on the expense of building the bridge across the local river. 10 years, he said arrogantly. Well, I could do that job in 3 months. Well, he sure put his foot in his mouth because he boasted about that. Next thing you know, their family challenged him. And he knew he had to act. His brother-in-law waited for the rain to stop, then headed down to the river. There they saw the creaky old bridge across which ran the country road. A freight railroad terminated at the far side of the river, its tracks crossing the road. As the freight trains came and went, they halted traffic on the road, slowing travel for all the local people. And there was my idea. Look, I said, it's simple. The passenger railroad pays for a third of the cost of a bridge so that it can offer better service to the town. The county pays for a third of the bridge because it will need to replace that thing anyway. And the freight railroad pays a third because it gets its traffic off its tracks and prevents the inevitable accident from having all those people lined up waiting to cross. It was that simple. In a week, the brother-in-law and I had all three parties agreed to the plan, and in 3 months, the new bridge was up and the town passenger had rail service. Now, I hope that your personal initiative won't have to get you out of that kind of trap I set for myself, but if we apply it at every opportunity, especially after we have made a foolish mistake, then it will benefit both of us. So personal initiative succeed where others fail, I think goes deeper maybe perhaps than the author stated here, because there are hard times when we have to go and chase after success. And it's during those hard times that the personal initiative gets us up out of bed, or gets us focused in on doing books, or gets us focused in on other things that need to be done. So it's that defining characteristic of personal initiative that separates us from others. You're watching this video or listening to this audio is a sign of your personal initiative to learn more about these success principles. So welcome, and I hope you're enjoying it. Now, personal initiative also creates opportunity. What of those workers that were able to build that railway? But here's a story of a carpenter's apprentice, and he made it $400 a week when he was hired to build some shelves in a closet. By that time he was finished and saw how grateful his client was to have better use of the space and how happy he was with the quality of the work. He had an idea. From that first customer, he started the California Closet Company. Now, the incredible transformation of a crowded closet into effective space was such a popular idea. Within 12 years, Balter had more than 100 franchises around the country. Other entrepreneurs were so impressed, copycats started to spring up. And then the company sold to Williams Sonoma in 1989. Now, this guy could have been content just learning to be a carpenter, but he identified his skills, set himself a definite goal, and persisted beyond the wildest dreams of any apprentice. I guess personal initiative does create opportunity, because without that personal initiative, you wouldn't be able to see into your mind's eye. Personal initiative creates the future. And that's true because it is part of the law of creation. It's the law of action. Now, Herbert Bass and Alex Giesler were doing production work at a Philadelphia television station in the 60s. They saw the videotape had much more flexibility for the television market than film did. Even though they were not considered top production experts, they decided to strike out on their own. They created Unitel Video because they couldn't offer production expertise that would stand out in the market. They chose to provide something else just as valuable. They offered the best in equipment and space to other production companies. Even though they were getting in on the business early, they still faced competition to build their share of the market. They took on clients who couldn't work anywhere else because nobody thought they could pay their bills. Bass and Giesler also knew the importance of going the extra mile. They knew that their clients had their own clients to keep happy. By offering the latest technology, they offered their clients an advantage. As Giesler told Success Magazine, "We show our clients techniques he wouldn't have thought of. He gets the credit. We get paid." Now, besides doing production work for shows like The Simpsons and Star Trek: The Next Generation, Unitel now provides training seminars for video techs around the world, or around the country. It also offers corporate communication services for companies like IBM and Citibank, putting together video conferences that can link people in New York, Los Angeles, San Antonio, and Minneapolis, just as if they were in the same room. And lo and behold, this book was published in 1994. Lo and behold, now we have Zoom and Facebook Live, and things have changed incredibly just in 15 years. Bass and Giesler weren't the first to see that video had a place in the future, but because they had the initiative to go after what they saw, to make a plan, to take risks, and to offer things that no one else was offering, their company was now first in its field. Now, personal initiative creates advancement. Your definite goal may someday include being your own boss, but if it doesn't, or even if that step is still some ways off, personal initiative can still pay off for you. There's a gal named Amy Hilliard-Jones. She was a marketing strategist at Gillette. She saw an opportunity in a product Gillette had dropped as unsuccessful: White Rain shampoo. Now, White Rain was an inexpensive, no-frill shampoo. I've used it before. It smells pretty good. Cost about 99 cents from last time I bought it. It didn't offer anything fancy, but it should have an appeal for a cost-conscious consumer. She developed a campaign to relaunch White Rain, presented it to executives, and persuaded them of its value. They went for it, and White Rain became one of Gillette's top-selling shampoos. That made Hilliard-Jones an obvious candidate for revitalizing the Lutra-Silk Corporation, a newly acquired Gillette subsidiary targeting the ethnic hair care market. She created a whole new product line, Moisture Max, which has been phenomenally successful. Now, today, this gal is an executive vice president of the Bureau Communications Group, and she's probably done something else in the last 15 years. And this group specializes in the marketing services directed at African Americans for Fortune 500 companies. She got where she is because she consistently used her personal initiative to bring bigger and better things to the companies that employed her. Well, she must have also used her imagination, and she must have also had self-confidence. So there's a lot of things that she used besides personal initiative, but personal initiative is a defining factor. And this gal probably has some of those defining factors, like a definite major purpose. She has motivation to act continuously in pursuit of that purpose. She had a mastermind alliance because she was working with top executives from that company. She was self-reliant because she probably got paid pretty good. So she didn't, she had a firm foundation to stand from. Save your money, guys. I mean, I wish I would have learned. I learned it. My parents taught me. I wish I would have developed the self-discipline at an early age to save. I would have taken advantage of many opportunities. Self-discipline, persistence based upon the will to win. So this Hilliard-Jones had all of those defining factors which made her a success. Now, those companies recognized her dedication to offering service above and beyond what was expected, so she went the extra mile too. And so did the Harvard Business School, which gave her the Max and Cohen Award for Excellence in Retailing, and Dollars and Cents magazine, which named her one of the top 100 business and professional women. Personal initiative paid off for Amy Hilliard-Jones in recognition, advancement, and the opportunity to do exactly what she wanted. I'd like to see real quick what Amy Hilliard-Jones is doing as we speak. Let's look her up. And maybe one day we'll be lucky enough to have her on our podcast. Amy Hilliard-Jones. Founder and principal of the Hilliard Group. Well, imagine that. And she also teaches faculty at Loyola University. I'm going to send her a link to this. This is crazy. This is amazing that we can just reach out to people Just like that. I'm going to send her a link and reach out to her and let her know that we mentioned her. So that's cool. So putting personal initiative to work. The time to begin exercising your personal initiative is the moment we decide upon our major purpose. Begin creating our plan of action. Use your imagination. Start assembling our mastermind alliance. Pick them carefully. We may find that our purpose changes as a result of things we learned in accomplishing these tasks, but the important thing is to begin work immediately. And that's so true. That's the law of creation, guys. Move forward. You don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. And that's not my original. I heard that somewhere before. It is better to act on a plan that is still weak. My Uncle Jimmy used to say, you better do something even if it ain't right. It is better to act on a plan that is still weak than to delay acting at all. Procrastination is the arch enemy of personal initiative, and if you let it become a habit this early in the game, it will plague your every move. Now do the best job we can of putting our plan into action and learn from our mistakes. Ignore the doomsdayers who tell you that you are heading for disaster. When Andrew Carnegie went into the steel business with the goal of dropping the price of steel from 140 a ton to 20 a ton, there were plenty who scoffed. None of those people made a penny when Carnegie achieved his goal. If you need advice, seek out skilled experts and pay them for their counsel. The free advice you will get on every hand from colleagues and friends will be worth exactly what it costs you. Nothing. Never wait for some outside force to trigger your actions. Of course, you will have to respond to surprises in your competition, but you must be moving forward according to your own plan on a daily basis. Feed your burning desire with images of your successful self. Stoke its flames so high that they burn your seat so that they won't be able to sit back in your chair and take it easy when you ought to be following up on your work for the day. Now, when a task is completed, examine it. Is it the best job you could have done? What might have made it better? Why don't you take that step right now? Personal initiative depends on you being alert to every opportunity and acting on that opportunity as soon as you discover it. And boy, is that true. That is personal initiative. You are the creator, and it's your opportunity to act. It's your duty, your destiny to take action, to move forward, and to take that first step, that second step, and that hard third step that most people don't get to take, and to keep on keeping on. It's a matter of persistence. Clearly, personal initiative is a demanding quality, and its practice requires a good deal of mental resources. When our initiative is flagging, we can turn to the principle which breathes life into it and restores every one of the others, which is a positive mental attitude. I want to tell you guys that personal initiative is a defining factor for somebody that is successful. And, if you're a school child, personal initiative, you can see your personal initiative about how you're getting up for school in the morning. Are you getting up quickly? Are you getting up slow and you have to get chased out of bed? Are you getting responsibly dressed and ready for school? Is your homework done? Or did you have to be chased around all night the night before to get it done? There's a defining factor of the successful, and that's personal initiative. They take the steps necessary to actuate and to achieve. And it is contagious. When I see people around me moving forward, it makes me want to move forward more. I don't know if it was greed. I said that earlier, but it's contagious, whatever it is. So not only surround yourself with people that are moving forward and faster than you, but try to move forward and faster than the people you surround yourself with. And there's another angle I can come at this, but we'll let it go at that. In the meantime, Amy Hilliard is a strategic marketing and operations executive in global corporate and entrepreneurial environments. Amy Hilliard has been privileged to work for and with some of America's most successful companies, organizations, and individuals. With substantial experience in retailing, marketing, branding, product development, strategic planning, general management, and acquisitions. Amy Hilliard is a results-oriented leader known for her ability to motivate, innovate, and execute while building committed teams. A professional speaker, Amy has presented to international audiences on marketing, entrepreneurship, diversity, and empowerment. Additionally, having served on nonprofit and corporate advisory boards for many years, she strives to build productive relationships and provide strategic direction in her areas of expertise. Amy truly enjoys the collaborative process and has a personal mission to bring diverse perspectives and oversight to organizations that positively impact our world's future while mentoring others. So that is Amy Hilliard Jones, or it's just Amy Hilliard now. So I'm glad we were able to meet her. We will reach out to her and let her know that she is on our recordings and invite her to listen to it. For that matter, guys, I want to see you on our Facebook page interacting. So come to our Facebook page, facebook.com/4 Northern Direct. That's 4, the number 4, Northern Direct, NORTHERNDIRECT. Facebook.com/Northern Direct. Come see us and hope to interact with you there. Y'all have a good one.